Good morning, SEC. Hope you can hear me. Hope you can see me. Man, one day closer to college football. Appreciate you, Brodo. We got Joe in here. We got Jeffrey. Man, everybody's excited. College football right around the corner. Everybody's undefeated. But for how long? I'm going to break that down here in just a second. I'm going to predict the record for each and every SEC team after their first 4 games of the season. Update. Actually, before we get to the update, real quick, don't forget, presenting sponsor all football season long, MyBookie. MyBookie.ag is the website. Online sports betting. Put in that promo code SEC. They'll match your initial deposit up to 100% right now at MyBookie.ag. Special offer for all the cousins out there. You really want to help the show out? Go over to MyBookie, sign up for an account, and put in an initial deposit. Just throw you $10 in there, and then have you some fun this week 0. Also, another great way to have some fun, get you some Tennessee Legends. Hell yeah, they're a proud sponsor of the show. They've been donating memberships every show. Couldn't be more thrilled to be partnered up with Tennessee Legends. If your package store does not have Tennessee Legends, is it really even a package store? We say no, and we hope you'll join us this football season. All right, let's get into it. No Cousin Shane, if you haven't figured out by now. Cousin Shane's still on vacation. Sorry for the inconvenience, but hey, football's here. We didn't want to leave you guys hanging. We're doing all the shows we can possibly do to keep you entertained before football gets here. So update for anybody that missed it on last night's show. Here's how the vacation's going for Shane. This is a photo he sent me last night, and the only caption he had was smashed. We got the Modelo, we got the Coors Light, we got the Twisted Tea. For some reason, maybe for hydration, we got Coca-Cola, we got the Goldfish. I mean, it sounds like a good time. And here is an update. Shane sent a update here this morning after he was MIA for about 14 hours. I was afraid he had moved on. But no, he said, hey, true story. Had a dream. Coach O took the Tennessee job. So that's a real text. Not, hey, I'm doing great. I'm hungover. I'm sure he's hungover, but he's dreaming about Coach O taking over the Tennessee job. So I just thought that was hilarious. One other thing. Yeah, Bevo says, Shane, did he crush all 4 pizzas, though? Strong indications that he probably let his family, he's got a big family there, he probably gave them 1 pizza. I don't think he ate all 4. I think he went with 3 here. So, all right, we're going to get into it, but before we do that, real quick, it's funny because I was looking at my phone to read text, Shane's text, and I got another one. It says, Hugh is so effing cooked. I wouldn't have edited this, but I know this is at 9 o'clock in the morning Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. My text was not edited. Shout out Hugh Freeze, anybody that missed it. He said, hey, we may play 3 quarterbacks in the opener against Baylor. That's a hell of a sign here going into, which would quite honestly could be the biggest opener for any SEC team this season. You know, you could say LSU Clemson as well, given that LSU's lost the last, 5 openers. You know, that's critical. But LSU, I think, can rebound from losing at Clemson. Can Auburn rebound from losing at Baylor? I don't know. But here's how prepared they are, according to Hugh Freeze. We may have 3 different play callers. We've kind of covered that. 3 different quarterbacks. And as Reddit CFB says, that's potential 9 play caller quarterback combinations. Absolutely impossible to defend against. But they're missing the mark there, Reddit CFB, because what this, more than allowing the combinations and making Auburn better, that is just 9 different excuses. 8 out of 9 times, Hugh Freeze is going to come with an excuse. If they lose We got multiple quarterbacks we could throw under the bus. We got multiple play callers. Everybody but Hugh is at fault here. If and when Auburn loses to Baylor, nationally televised Friday night, cannot wait for it. And yeah, things are going great. We got 3 quarterbacks we could throw at them. They won't know what hit them. All right, so let's get into it. I've got to try to predict the records for each and every team after the first 4 games of the season. Let's just go alphabetical because I don't know if I could do it any other way right now. It's kind of hard to read the comments and do all this live. Alabama. And the only not fun thing about doing this, when I tell you the record, kind of gives away other teams, but is what it is. Alabama. If you're just listening back later, at Florida State, they're a massive favorite. ULM at home, Wisconsin at home. Then they get the bye week. Then they're at Georgia. So bare minimum, 3-1 has got to be the minimum. If they're not 3-1, again, minimum, then Kalen DeBoer, see your ass back to Washington because you ain't cut out for the SEC. If they're 2-2 after the first 4, this man should not. I mean, you know how they put up the for sale signs in coaches' yard. We got to go a step further. We actually got to break into his house probably. I mean, don't hurt anybody, but break in and just get the furniture ready, put it in the truck for him so that when he gets back to his estate, it's, he can just jump in that U-Haul and get the hell out of town. That's what's going to happen if you are 2-2 after first 4. But here's the good news, folks. Alabama's going to be 4-0. I said all that to say Bama's going 4-0. They're beating Georgia in Athens until Kirby Smart shows that he can beat Alabama in a game that Alabama has one healthy receiver. I ain't buying it. So give me Alabama 4-0. All right, Arkansas. Let's do Arkansas next because I don't know if you guys have been seeing this, but Sam Pittman, he is fired up. He is absolutely fired up. He's saying that, hey, don't rank us. That's fine. We're going to be ranked by the end of the year. They're talking up a big game. Of course, they do this every year, but I'm a fool for Sam Pittman and the Razorbacks. So if they're confident, if they're talking it up, we all know that I love Taylor Green. I think he's going to be one of, if not the biggest breakout star players in the entire conference this year. So again, if you're listening back later, the first 4 for Arkansas, Alabama A&M, Arkansas State. The Arkansas State one is in Little Rock. We gotta stop playing the stupid Little Rock game. You're hurting your program. At Ole Miss and at Memphis. Tricky, right? Man, how can they beat Ole Miss on the road? Ole Miss smoked them. Memphis, all of a sudden, that's a tricky game. Get that shit out of here. Arkansas is going 4-0. Ole Miss, I've been saying it all off season. Ole Miss taking a step back, and it begins third game of the season when Arkansas goes into Oxford and whoops Lane Whiffin's ass. They dropped several games they shouldn't last year. They're going to do it again this year. Give me Arkansas 4-0 after the first month of the season. All right, how about them Auburn Tigers? How many quarterbacks we going to play? I don't know. I don't know how many quarterbacks, but we're going to have, well, hell, they may have 4 quarterbacks just to throw us all off. Maybe they're saying 3 because they're really going 4. Hugh Freeze is playing 4D chess. Here's the schedule if you're listening back later. At Baylor, Friday night, nationally televised. Ball State, South Alabama, at Oklahoma. Tough schedule, really tough. I don't care how many quarterbacks you got, old Hugh. Give me Auburn going 2-2. 2-2, losing to Baylor, losing at Oklahoma. And you can still rebound. You can rebound and have a nice season. But will you? Do I even have to say it? Do I even have to say it? Hugh Freeze is going to be making this face twice in the first month of the season because Auburn's losing 2 of their first 4. And yeah, we can move his ass out of town too if that happens, probably. All right, let's go to Florida. I see Liquid in the comments. Appreciate you, buddy. Florida Gators record after the first 4 games. Here they play the Sharks. Didn't even know this was a team until I saw it on the schedule here. Long Island, South Florida, both at home, back to back. That's a lot nicer than the opening games have been under Billy Napier. during his tenure here in Gainesville, at LSU, at Miami. Man, they got video. I don't know if you guys have seen this video of old Carson Beck flinging that football. They're all fired up down there in Miami. He sucks. Get his ass out of here. Florida is winning at Miami, and I had them all off season winning at LSU. But the fact that DJ Lagway apparently is still, well, I mean, again, we got to stop buying what Billy Napier's selling, because anybody that missed it, he said yesterday, oh, DJ, this is the most he's practiced all camp. You know, same bullshit. He said this about 6 different times now during this camp, and he's still not scrimmaging, still missing crucial reps for the Florida Gators. So I'm not buying it. I'm selling all my stock after buying it for months and months with Florida. So give me 3-1. I don't think you can win at LSU unless Lagway is 100% and he looks like $1 million. I just don't see it. I don't see how you can go to LSU with a largely inexperienced quarterback with a lot of new pieces around him. And I really like Florida. I think could they win at LSU? Sure. But I'm not predicting it now that we've got a quarterback that can't even damn practice here. And we are damn near at game week. So 3-1. I think Florida fans, honestly, would be happy with 3-1 if it meant getting to shellac old Miami, at Miami, get them back for last year. You can still have a really good season if you go 3-1 out the gate if you're the Florida Gators, I think. And I also think, JR, what a time to jump in here, because we're about to talk Georgia. But first, I got to shout out JR. What a legend. What a legend. He shows up more than Cousin Shane.
Legend, Cousin JR has done it again.
Thank you, JR. JR has gifted Tonka Todd. What a name. Tonka, welcome to the family. We appreciate you. Courtesy of the legend JR.
Memberships in this podcast are brought to you in part by Cousin JR.
Thank you, JR. And man, maybe I should change my record prediction after that. But let's go to Georgia. Again, I think it's probably pretty easy to guess where I'm going with this one. But here's the schedule. If you missed it, or if you're listening back later, Marshall at home, Austin Peay at home. The Fighting Stephen Lassens is what I call them. That's where he went to school. At Tennessee, you get your bye week, and then you're home for Alabama. I'll tell you this. If you go 4-0, you get over that Alabama demon, I think Georgia's winning the national championship. And hell, they could go 3-1 and still win the national championship. It's not going to eliminate them from anything, I don't think. But I am giving you a 3-1. I think you're losing to Alabama, but I do think that you will smoke Tennessee on Rocky Top. Hell, it doesn't matter where that game's played. Georgia smokes Tennessee, and we'll get to Tennessee here in a minute. But I'm not buying a lot of the camp buzz coming out of Rocky Top. So Georgia, 3-1. Very realistic that you go 4-0, but I think 3-1 is your record after the first 4 games for them dogs. Oh, shout out Carolina Cooter. What a name. He has gifted a membership to Dustin Boyd. Dustin, welcome to the family. We appreciate you. Old Carolina Cooter. We'll get to them in just a second here. All right. After Georgia, we got Kentucky. Oh, Kentucky. They going to lose to Toledo? That's what the buzz is, isn't it? Mark Stoops, sell him down the river. We don't have a quarterback. We don't have a defense. What do we have? We got great fans, but that's about it. And I think the fans are going to show up for week 1, Toledo. All this talk, hyping up Toledo. Kentucky's going to whoop Toledo's ass. I'll just tell you now. And, that'll be maybe the highlight of the season, because we're getting smoked the next week as Ole Miss gets their revenge. That's in Lexington. Eastern Washington also in Lexington. So we'll win that one. 2-1 right off the bat. You get your bye week. And then, I hate to say it, but you're getting hammered at South Carolina. Now, the good news is South Carolina-Kentucky series, often the favorite doesn't win that game. So if I'm a Kentucky fan, sure, sell me down the river, say I got no shot against Shane Beamer and his goofy-ass sunglasses. That's what the message I want in that locker room. We go down there, we steal a win, and all of a sudden, we are building towards something. That sounds great, right? But I'm not buying it. Give me Kentucky 2-2, first month of the season. All right, next we got LSU. Come on down, buddy. LSU. Is there a team that needs a hotter start more than LSU? At Clemson. Oh, Lord, we can't win in the opener. They just keep getting tougher every year. I think they're going to play the Kansas City Chiefs next opener just to kind of continue this trend. But then week 2, Louisiana Tech at home, Florida at home, Southeast Louisiana at home. If you're not 3-1 after 4, Brian Kelly, fire his ass too. You know what I mean? So we got to be 3-1. 4-0 is on the table, but I'm not seeing it. Give me 3-1 for LSU. I think they will lose to Clemson at Clemson. That is a very, very difficult game. But I've swung it back basically all offseason. I'm saying you're going to lose to Florida. So I'm giving you that one. So you should be happy with 3-1. You can still make the college football playoff. Losing to Clemson eliminates you for nothing. And I know they're putting so much stock in this game. Hell, they've already turned the calendar to Clemson there in Baton Rouge. But I just... it's the only bad thing about this expanded playoff where games like that could torpedo your season in years past. It's not even a speed bump, I don't think, for LSU if they were to lose to Clemson. All right, how about Ole Miss? Where are we going here? Ole Miss schedule. Georgia State at home. We got to stop scheduling Georgia State. What the hell are we doing? At Kentucky, Arkansas, at home, Tulane, at home. I've kind of already given this one away too because of the Arkansas one, but give me 3-1 for the Ole Miss Rebels. And, again, 2-2 is not off the table either because Tulane is tricky. Kentucky whooped you last year, and Georgia State is the damn scariest G5 team I think that an SEC opponent can face. So 3-1, that is not kind of the standard there in Oxford, but I think that's where we're going this year with a lot of new pieces. People are sleeping on how much Ole Miss is replacing, and I'm not putting this evil on them. It's easy to look back now and say, yeah, Florida State, they're an absolute joke and a travesty. I saw that coming, right? Well, it kind of hit home for me at SEC Media Days when we were sitting down with J.D. Piquel, who does a hell of a job. He said, I had Florida State as a playoff team last year, and he was not on an island. I mean, a lot of people thought Florida State could just restock, reload. Hell, that's how they built the team that went undefeated or whatever via the transfer portal. That's what Lane Kiffin's doing. Lane Kiffin does it every year, right? He'll just reload. What just doesn't work like that in the transfer portal era? Where's this locker room at? And they've been able to have success, right? Because they're winning. They got key players at key positions. But here's the danger of assembling a transfer team. What if you lose? I mean, that Kentucky loss, that knocked you out of the playoff last year. What if you lose to an Arkansas? Where's this locker room at? What if you lose to a Tulane? I mean, all of a sudden, these guys are not loyal to Ole Miss. They've been there for 6 months. You think they're going to die for Ole Miss? A lot of them? I don't think so. I think they're going to say, well, hell, I'm going to start getting ready for NFL. You know what I mean? So where's this locker room at? We've seen it, and it's not just Florida State. Others it's happened to them too. I'm not saying it'll happen at Ole Miss, but I think that is always in the back of my mind that it could quickly devolve into that without some leadership from guys like Jackson Dart and Trey Harris to kind of keep that ship afloat. That's just something to think about. Also, think about Mississippi State, first 4 games. Man, everybody's down on Mississippi State, myself included. They are, they're going to be terrible, right? Not so fast. Southern Miss, that blows my mind every time I see a SEC team opening on the road at Southern Miss. Should never happen. Arizona State at home, Alcorn State at home, Northern Illinois at home. Give me 3-1 for Mississippi State. We're turning this ship around. We are going to get to 3-1 and probably lose to Arizona State, but that's it. And hell, 4-0. I think it's off the table, but Mississippi State fans they're buying in that they can go 4-0. I sure as hell hope they do, because I think that'll be one of the best stories in college football after the first month. If you can go 4-0 after a 2-10 season, I'd be there for it. But I think 3-1 is where you're more realistically at. How about Missouri, they're all fired up. Better beat Kansas. I'll say that. They open against the Purple Bears of Central Arkansas, Kansas at home, Louisiana at home, and South Carolina all at home. What a gift this schedule is to get all these damn home games for the Missouri Tigers. You're going to be competitive in all of them, all the home games. But I think, I hate to say it, I think South Carolina beat you. So give me Missouri 3-1. It's the only game that I'm really concerned about the first month of the season. Maybe if my opinion could change. Let's throw in Bo Prabula. Maybe he looks like $1 million. You can beat South Carolina. What if Sam Horn comes in here and it clicks for him and he's the next golden goose, as we used to call Drew Lock? My opinion could change. Caden Green at left tackle. What if he projected as one of the best left guards in the country? What if he's one of the best left tackles? All of a sudden, that can really change the dynamic for Missouri, but I'm not going to know that till we actually see it a couple games into the season. And 4-0 certainly on the table. I'm really splitting hairs. When I say South Carolina is going to beat them, I'm like 51% confident that happens. So you're right there, 49% Missouri. All right, how about Oklahoma? First month, this is critical. Brent Venables, your ass could also be grass. We're firing a bunch of these coaches. I'm going to fire your ass if you go 2-2 here, because you are going to go straight in the toilet. Illinois State at home. I mean, that's a pick your score type game. Michigan at home. One of the best games, arguably the best game in the country. Week 2, the college football season. Temple at Temple for some reason. And then Auburn at home. That's the schedule for the Sooners. What's the record? The record? 4-0. Come on, Boomer Sooner. Everybody, apparently Josh Pate now is also jumping on the train saying John Mateer is going to win the Heisman. I don't know where all this Heisman love is coming from. We got to remember what a train wreck Oklahoma was. Here's the thing. We get caught up in the hype and John Mateer and his gambling. I would not gamble on John Mateer to win the Heisman, if you know what I'm saying. But what we need the offense to not be pathetic. The offense was pathetic last year, and we won 6 games. Imagine if Oklahoma has like a top 30 offense. I think they could win 10 games if the defense doesn't have a drop-off. If they're top 25 offense and a top 15-ish defense or top 10 defense, again, I mean, we can win 9-10 games. We do not need John Mateer to be God's gift of football, win the Heisman. Some of this hype is crazy. I think he's going to be really good. I think he could be like, I'm just trying to think of a comparison, like Jackson Dart good. Like Jackson Dart's awesome, right? But he never was close to winning the Heisman. We don't need him. We don't need him to be Cam Newton 2.0. We need him to be a top 6 quarterback in this conference, top 5 quarterback in this conference. I think he can do that. But let's pump the brakes on all the Heisman talk. I think that's a little nuts. We don't even need that. We don't need that. But we do need Dakota VFL. Just became a member of the family.
Welcome to the family.
Appreciate you, Dakota. We appreciate you. And, man, I may have to switch my Tennessee pick after we do this. All right, let's go to South Carolina, them Gamecocks. I'm a little concerned about this because Shane, we said it here many times, Shane Beamer and the Gamecocks, they typically start slow. I don't know why, but they start slow under Shane Beamer. Hopefully they get that fixed, get that corrected. Maybe all this hype, maybe they'll be a little bit more locked in. Here's the schedule for the Gamecocks. You get Virginia Tech in the opener in Atlanta. It's going to be a Sunday game, so they're going to be, kind of like a standalone early. It's the afternoon game on Sunday. That's going to be awesome. South Carolina State at home, Vanderbilt at home, and at Missouri. I've already kind of teased this one, but I think you get the win at Missouri. Again, not guaranteeing it, not saying it's a lock by any means, but that should be your toughest game. Vanderbilt, I think they're going to be much improved. I'm kind of just repeating talking points that I've had all off season, but you own their ass. I don't care about Diego Papa. Don't care about Clark Lee. 4-0 for the South Carolina Gamecocks. to open the season. And if you do that, you're going to be in contention for the college football playoff all season long, because you got to get off to a hot start, because the back half is a damn one landmine after another. If you start 3-1, I don't think you got any shot at going to the playoffs. So I hate to put it all on you in the first month, but I think you get there. I think you stay in the conversation at 4-0. All right, Tennessee, first four. Syracuse in Atlanta. Why are we playing these neutral sites? Stop doing it. But Danny White, he wants every penny he can get. East Tennessee. Wow, they still play football. It's Georgia, also at home. East ETSU is also at home. And UAB at home. This very favorable, aside from, of course, Georgia. Syracuse is in total rebuild mode. I don't really think that, as much as there's issues at Tennessee, they're still like a 2-touchdown favorite against Syracuse. So it would take a big-time upset, I think, for Syracuse to beat Tennessee. I don't see it happening. I got a ton of respect for old Josh Heupel, of course. So give me 3-1 for Tennessee. Never picking them ever again to beat Georgia till they actually do it. And maybe they can do it. Hell, maybe Georgia's falls apart. Maybe Gunnar Stockton, who's rocking a mustache, by the way. I like that. But maybe that curses him. I don't know. You're going to need Gunnar to turn it over 2 or 3 times if you're going to beat old Georgia in Neyland Stadium. Not impossible, but again, not predicting it. Sure as hell not predicting it. You know what I am predicting? Texas to whoop Ohio State's ass in the opener. I don't care where that game's played. Give me Texas to beat Ohio State in Columbus, and then the rest are a joke. San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston. It's looking like a Big 12 schedule all of a sudden here. But Texas is going to get off to a 4-0 start after they pistol whip old Ohio State in the opener. SEC, we need this one. We need this win, boys. This is why we added Texas, so they can defend this conference against old Ohio State. And I'm sure, we all know Michigan, they cheated their ass off. We don't know about Ohio State's cheating yet, but I'm sure they cheated too. No amount of cheating is going to help their ass when the Longhorns come up there and bust them. All right, Texas A&M. Mighty Texas A&M. We got UTSA in the opener. We got Utah State, second game, both at home. Then you're at Notre Dame. That's going to be a big-time game, NBC, nationally televised. And then you got Auburn at home. So they're another one. I've been hyping up Texas A&M. But I think, realistically, 3-1. I think you go 3-1 with a loss at Notre Dame. I'm starting to really buy old Marcus Freeman. Everybody loves that guy. Damn near won the national championship last season. And hey, if you swing that one, buddy, we're cooking. We are cooking if we can beat Notre Dame on the road. I'm not willing to give them the respect. A&M's got to earn that respect. And hell, even Auburn at home, I don't think is a given by any means. But I think A&M will probably be about a 6-point favorite if I had to guess. So they should win it, but who knows? That could be one of the games that Hugh Freeze steals every year. He'll blow another 1 or 2, but he'll steal 1 too, and it could be that A&M. So 3-1 is not even a given, but that's where I like A&M. All right, last but not least, Vanderbilt. Final 4 games. We got Charleston Southern at home. We're at Virginia Tech, at South Carolina, and Georgia State. And as good a season as Vanderbilt had last year, they still lost to Georgia State. So not even that can technically be a given. I still can't believe they lost that damn game. But I think Vanderbilt, give me 3-1, because I got no respect for Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is going to get their ass whooped in the opener, so they're going to be smarting. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt's going to smoke Charleston Southern. The only game that I'm worried about here for Vanderbilt is at South Carolina. South Carolina owns your ass. So give me Vanderbilt 3-1. Let's do a quick recap. All the records I got for all the SEC teams. We got Bama 4-0, Arkansas 4-0, Auburn 2-2, Florida 3-1, Georgia 3-1, Kentucky 2-2, LSU 3-1, Ole Miss 3-1, Mississippi State 3-1, Mizzou 3-1, Oklahoma 4-0, South Carolina 4-0, Tennessee 3-1, Texas 4-0. Texas A&M 3-1. Vanderbilt 3-1. All right. I hope you guys have woken up. Give you a little entertainment. I wonder, Cousin Shane, if he's watching. I think he'd be commenting if he was watching. But filling in for the Tennessee Homer. We're going to be back later this evening. Special guest, live show. As far as I know, the show's going live at 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 Central. So an hour earlier. No, 2 hours earlier. Yeah, 2 hours earlier than it normally is. We're doing that to accommodate the guests that we're going to have on the show. So I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out this morning. Wake up. SEC football right around the corner. Cannot wait. We love you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Hey, buddy, this beer's for you, Mike, and Cousin Shane. That SEC podcast loves the Pirate, and the Pirate loves that SEC podcast. Hail State.